I'm not there. I didn't even know Summer Jam was on. I'm not even gonna hold you, Chief. I didn't even know Summer Jam was on last night. And I get on here and I looked at this lineup. Just first of all, let's just get because a lot of y'all are out of touch with reality. Y'all don't want to accept the fact that as much as we love hip hop, this is a dying art form. Can we just get that out the way? Between rappers struggling to sell out concerts these days, if you ain't considered a top five streaming act or whatever, a legend, you're not. A lot of these rappers can't even sell out venues no more. Uh, Last year, Juicy J had to make a statement. 6 months, the first 6 months of 2023, you didn't have a single hip hop song in the top Billboard charts for the first time in 30 years. Like this art form is in a weird space to say the least. I think it's going away. Like they did this Hot 97 Summer Jam lineup. Now, look, concerts and stuff like Summer Jam is no different than these award shows. When the stars don't show up, it loses aura. BET Awards, perfect example. They lost that aura, I'd say about 10 years or so ago when the Drakes, the Kanyes, the Jay and Beyonce's, all of the when the big stars don't show up, the show feels lesser than it feels flat. And it's the same thing with Summer Jam. Now, I remember at one point, Summer Jam, it fell off because it was like a disconnect because you got New Yorkers that want to hear New York hip hop, and they were bringing up a lot of Southern artists, especially during the years, I'd say between like 2009 to like 2017. So it was like a lot of people wasn't feeling all of that. It was a little too much. But the last few years, there's no moments. You remember moments. Like I remember when Jay-Z dissed Nas. Like when 50 was throwing chairs at niggas and stuff in the crowd. And you remember moments. There's no moments. There was no moments. And they tried to, I'm looking at this lineup and I almost cried. Like the lineup was Sexy Red, Offset, formerly from the Migos, Doja Cat, who they said only did 4 songs. These artists are lazy. T Grizzy, I like T Grizzy, but it's been a minute since hey, I'm not gonna get into that. Sleepy Hollow, who didn't show up, right? Sleepy Hollow didn't even show up. This geek Peter Rosenberg, right? Geek Peter Rosenberg is like people are blaming him and saying that he's the reason why Sleepy Hollow and this other cat didn't show up because they endorsed Trump recently. They were at the Trump thing in the Bronx, so they didn't show up to the show. You know, they got some slack for that. A lot of people wasn't feeling that, and they saying that Rosenberg is to blame. Matter of fact, here's his response.
Yo, real quick update, in case you didn't get the message. I don't want to ruin a good story because I love a good story, but I have to be real. While I was like annoyed about the Chef G, Sleepy Hollow, Trump thing, I did not get them taken off of Summer Jam. Number one, I don't have the power to do that. Number two, I would never, even though it was annoying to me, and I disagree, I would never try to take money out of people's pockets. I've never done that in the history of my career. I have only tried to put money in people's pockets and supported more artists in this city than many people are aware of. Many of those artists are watching this right now, and they know. Matter of fact, feel free to support in the comments and spread this around, because a lot of people are spreading around that they think I had Chef G and Sleepy Hollow removed from Summer Jam. First of all, Sleepy removed himself from Summer Jam. Chef G, it was a whole different other situation that I'll let them explain. It's not my business to explain. And I'm working on setting up an interview with them on the show right now. It is all love with me and those guys. It was a moment where I disagreed, and we make jokes on the radio. We talk every morning. And some people may know that, yeah, politically I disagreed with it, but that's okay. So I hate to ruin everybody's good story they're running with, but I'm seeing people actually heated thinking I could do that or would do that, and it's just patently false. Take care.
Yeah, so that was that geek's explanation. It doesn't matter. The fact that they got taken off is embarrassing on its own. The fact that they didn't show up, rather they didn't show up, that's one thing. But look, I just don't like Rosenberg. People be like, man, you just hating on him. No, he's a geek, man. He's a dweeb. He works that boring show with him and Laura Stiles are still on. I don't know how. And him and Ebro, he works for WWE. He's a geek, man. And nonetheless, this show, you knew it was going to be a disaster. Look at the lineup. look at this lineup. And I don't even think that's an appealing lineup to someone who's 16. I don't even think it's all about age. But speaking of age, Meth and Red was there. They was like the legend act, I guess. They was, they're supposed to pay their flowers, send they respects to Med and Meth. And they doing they set, and they're doing Rockwilder. They're doing all the hits. Now, mind you, there's some people in the crowd that might be less, they might be 20 years old, and they playing songs from 25, 30 years ago. And the crowd was flat from what I've seen. And it's a shame because some of these kids probably didn't even know who they were. They probably looking at Meth thinking, oh, that's old boy from Power. They probably thinking, you know what I mean? Like he's just straight up actor to them. And they probably thinking the same with Red. They just didn't. And Method Man put out a statement today and says he thinks that this is it. He's done. It's just too much of a generational gap with today's artists. Usually when they go on tour, they don't waste their time. They're in front of an audience that connects to them, that is somewhat in their age range or whatever. Putting all these kids on the show. I mean, they got Sexy Red on the bill and Doja Cat. So, I mean, you put together, you do the math what kind of crowd that was. You know what I mean? The people who listen to that don't listen to Method Man and Redman. Period. So, the people who put this show together, you're trying to please everybody. You got to have people from, this coast. The Summer Jam was better when they just gave people from the tri-state area what they wanted. That's just really the truth. When it was just New York and tri-state stuff. Because that's the people that's mainly going to be there. They try to satisfy everybody. We got to get something for the youngins. We got to get something for the West Coast. This, that, man. Stop it. Like, this is embarrassing. They had to tape off seats. They could not get close to selling out that venue. They didn't. And no star power. Like I say, where's Kendrick? Where's this one? There's that. They're not there. Nobody's coming to these shows. So it loses its aura and all of its importance and its relevance. Because I swear I didn't even know this was on yesterday. I did not know. And the sad part is, if it was a live stream and I probably could have found one, I still wouldn't have watched. Nope. Not a care in the world. Like, this is a dying art form. Because at least certain aspects of it. Because I don't even think anybody. Somebody said the lineup was horrible. People saying that they Doja Cat did 4 songs. I haven't heard anything positive about this at all. I think there was a Mr. C tribute. Okay, so they had Busta was out there too, and Meth and Red. And, Busta actually likes messing with these youngins. He likes this new generation. He's done a lot of collaborations with them. But Meth is like, nah, man, I'm on my grown man. Meth making that Hollywood money. He does not have to come out here to entertain you hip-hop hooligans. You know what I mean? That want to listen to this stuff. He don't got to come out here and play the hits for you niggas. You got iTunes. You got your Apple and Spotify. But when Doja Cat is the headline, right? She was one of the headliners in this. That just shows you what kind of crowd was there. And she headlined this event with 4 songs. I mean, hey, you call me a hater, but if you are headlining an event like this, you should have more in your arsenal, in your discovery than 4 damn songs. And I don't want to hear, oh, they ran out of time. No. The French Montana came on, right? Right? He was out there. But that ain't enough star power for me. The days of being starstruck and stuff. I see people and I just be like, oh, that's so and so. Like, I don't know. I think social media kind of killed stardom anyway. But yeah, hip hop, this shit is a mess. And you could probably look up if you want to see this. I don't know, but maybe am I tripping, or is this everything just seems uninteresting and just not nearly as important like it is? It's nothing to rush home to, other than Drake and Kendrick. That was the last hip hop moment we got recently. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I think this shit is really coming to an end. If it's not coming to an end, it's just becoming like more and more irrelevant. And it's like, yeah, who cares? It gets to that point. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did y'all watch Summer Jam? Who went if you did go? How much did you pay to go see that shit? Because you couldn't pay me with that lineup to go. And I've seen Busta in person. And I've seen Ghost and Ray. I've seen a lot of rap, but you couldn't have paid me to go to that.